Hello everyone. So in this lecture we are continuing with operators. So last time we did some properties of the operators, some quantum mechanical operators. So let's see some more operators which are very important in quantum mechanics and according to your syllabus also. So let's see. Now let's see this equation. This H cap is Hamiltonian operator, wave function. Capital E is the total energy of a system. Psi is a wave function. So this equation is short form of Schrodinger's wave equation. Schrodinger's wave equation. Now I can this is an eigenvalue equation. Okay, as we have already studied. This is an eigenvalue equation. So if I expand this operator, Hamiltonian operator, this is Hamiltonian operator. If I expand this, this will be minus h bar square upon 2m del square. I have already explained the value of del square also. This del square is Laplacian operator plus V. V is the potential energy. Psi, this E and psi. Alright. So this equation is time independent Schrodinger's wave equation. I am writing it in a short form, SWE, for Schrodinger's wave equation. So this is time independent, means here the wave function is a function of position only and time is not involved. So this is a function of position only. Now comes also, this can be extended as this, but see, the left hand side is same but the right hand side is different. It means I have replaced this energy with this operator. Here time is involved. So this equation is time dependent Schrodinger's wave equation. Alright. So from here when we compare this short form of Schrodinger wave equation with this extended forms, I can say the value of Hamiltonian operator is 2m del square plus V, and value of energy operator, total energy operator. This is also a total energy operator. Energy operator for time independent psi. When time is not involved, this is total energy operator. From this equation we can say the energy operator is, so this energy operator is when wave function is a function of position and time both. Alright. So I have already told you in our syllabus we have to do only time independent Schrodinger's wave equation, but it was necessary to tell you that this expression also can be expressed in terms of time dependent terms. Alright. So we will deal with this operator. Now this Hamiltonian operator is equal to kinetic energy operator plus potential energy operator. So in this expression we have two terms. This corresponds to kinetic energy. So kinetic energy operator is given by T cap and this term corresponds to potential energy. Potential energy operator is given as V cap. So we can write Hamiltonian operator as T cap plus V cap, or the total energy operator is equal to kinetic energy operator plus potential energy operator. Why we are doing this? Now this equation, this is Schrodinger's wave equation, and this Hamiltonian operator is coming from Schrodinger's equation. We will derive Schrodinger wave equation in our next class, but why I am doing here this is because I want to derive linear momentum operator. For deriving linear momentum operator, I need kinetic energy operator, because we know linear momentum is related to kinetic energy. Now from this expression, or I must say from kinetic energy expression, kinetic energy operator is minus h bar square upon 2m del square. We will take this expression and derive expression for momentum operator. Let's do it. Now let's see. We have kinetic energy operator is equal to minus h bar square upon 2m del square, and we want to derive an expression for linear momentum operator. We know that kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. If I multiply this equation with mass and divide it also, it will be mv whole square upon 2m. Alright. Now mv is the momentum. So I can say momentum square upon 2m is equal to kinetic energy. We want to derive operators. So let us replace these two terms with their corresponding operators. So this is for T cap is for kinetic energy and P cap is for momentum 2m. Alright. Now the kinetic, substitute the value of kinetic energy operator from this equation. So you will have is equal to momentum operator square 2m. 2m cancelled out. Alright. Now what we are left with is minus square p, sorry, we have del square also, del square. Alright. So we are left with del square is equal to operator p square. This operator p square is p dot p, dot product of two momentum operators. Alright. So this is, now this is possible only when the right hand side terms are like it's minus iota h bar del, del is again a vector, minus iota h bar del. Alright. From this equation we can say the angular moment, the linear momentum operator is minus iota h bar del operator, or you can write it with a cap when it is a del operator. This is total momentum operator. Now we can see what are its x, y and z components. For that I need to expand the value of del square. Then only we will know what is the value of momentum operator. So we have del square. No, only del. Alright. Now del operator is, we know that del operator is, let it be like this. let it be like this. So del is, we have already written this expression in the last class, plus j cap plus k cap. All right. Now this total momentum operator can also be given as px I cap plus py j cap plus pz k cap. Substitute this value over here and this also. You will have px py pz is equal to minus iota h bar I j k cap. So compare the left and the right hand side. What we can see, we can separate the coefficients of I cap, j cap and k cap. So we will have the x component of momentum operator is minus iota this, py component is this, and pz component is this. So we have all the three components of linear momentum operator. And we have also done very important one relation in the last class while doing commutators. That was commutator of momentum and position is not equal to 0. We have already done this. You can refer the previous lecture for this expression. Non-zero means they do not commute. Do not commute means their values cannot be determined simultaneously. This equation represents Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. All right, we have already done this expression and this is very important. So remember these values of x, y, z components of this linear momentum. And next thing is the angular momentum. So with the help of this linear momentum, now we can find out the expression of angular momentum also. Angular momentum operator. So angular momentum is represented by a symbol capital L. It's a vector quantity. It has all the components again, Lx I cap, Ly j cap plus Lz k cap. This is the expression. If and also we know L can be given as position, the cross product of position and linear momentum operator. Now the position vector can be written as x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. Position vector is x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. And P we have already seen. P is Px I cap plus Py j cap plus Pz k cap. So substitute these values in this cross product and find out the cross product for this L vector, which is angular momentum vector. So angular momentum will be, you have already done this but we are just revising so that you can easily find out this value in terms of operators. So we have I, j, k, r is x plus minus plus x, y, z. Here you have px, py, pz. All right. So when you cross multiply these terms, you will get this expression. To further simplify it, we can substitute the values of pz, py and px in this expression. So after substituting and simplifying this, we have these terms. This I cap, this term is equal to Lx, x component of angular momentum operator. This term is Ly, the y component of angular momentum operator. Similarly, Lz, the z component of angular momentum operator. So we can see over here, in x component the y and z terms are appearing, x are not appearing. In y component we have z and x terms, and z component we have x and y terms. So we can write these expressions as Lx is equal to y minus z iota h bar, and Ly is z minus x, Lz is x bar. So we have these three components of angular momentum operator which are derived from the position and linear momentum operator. Now let's see, there are some properties of these xyz components and total angular momentum component. Square of angular momentum operator will be given by this expression. As in normally in a vector we write the components like this when we find out the magnitude. So this is a mathematical expression we already know. Now if I find out the commutator of x and y component, the commutator means this expression can be written as this, like L here, y, and then interchange the order y and x. So this is known as commutator. Commutator. So the commutator of x and y component, when you solve, when you substitute the values of x, Lx and Ly from these expressions over here, simplify them. This is simply a mathematical calculation. Mathematically you can solve these. It's very simple, but here it will take more time. So, but it is simpler, you can do that. So this commutator will be coming out to be equal to iota h bar Lz. You can simply remember the commutator of x and y is Lz, y and z is Lx, and z and x is Ly. So the commutators of these three components with each other are non-zero. It means these x, y and z three components do not commute with each other. Do not commute means their value cannot be determined simultaneously. Alright. Now if I see the square of the total angular momentum and its x component, when I try to find out, when I substitute the value of x this and Lx this coming out to be 0. With y also it is 0, with z also it is 0. It means L square component of the angular momentum commute with its x component, y component and z components. So they commute, means their value can be determined simultaneously. So we can simultaneously find out the value of x component of angular momentum and square of angular momentum. So this happens in all three cases. You can solve these expressions. These are very simple mathematical calculations. for your understanding in exam or in any competitive exams. It's not necessary that they will ask you to solve this entire expression, but you must remember the results. So we have a question on angular momentum from IIT JAM exam 2005. Though the question is very simple, but as an example we can solve it, or you can try some more examples on the basis of these expressions. We have the value of position vector and momentum vector. You have to find angular momentum. So angular momentum is given as r cross p, which will be all right. So here you have 2 minus 3 and 1. Here you have 1, 2, minus 2. All right, units are also given. So this is very simple. Find out I cap. This will be 6 minus 2 minus j cap minus 4 minus 1 plus k cap 4 plus 3, 4 plus 3. So this value comes out to be 4i cap plus 5j cap plus 7k cap. If you have to calculate the magnitude of this vector also, what we can do is Lx square plus Ly square plus Lz square. So it will be 16 plus 25 plus 49. So this will be under root of 90, or root of 90 will be 9.48 is the magnitude of this total angular momentum. You can try some more problems from your textbooks or wherever you find. In the next class, I will discuss how to derive Schrodinger's wave equation and how to solve this equation for some simpler systems.